The central bankers of the world, apparently losing confidence that they can fix the inflation they created, are turning to Plan B. Blame the rest of us so we fight each other. Yesterday, the chief economist of the Bank of England, one Hugh Pill, said the quiet part out loud that, quote, British households and businesses need to accept they are poorer and stop seeking pay increases and pushing prices higher. Note, inflation in the UK is currently running double digits, with grocery prices up 19% year on year. So not seeking a raise may well mean cutting a meal. Meanwhile, a poll from a major British insurer found 57% of small businesses in Britain are at risk of closure from rising prices. So you plebes need to drop a meal and maybe close the family business so we can keep stealing from you. According to The Guardian, central bankers actually have a name for this scapegoating: greedflation, as in double-digit inflation has nothing to do with central bankers printing up trillions and handing it to government bankers, and surely by accident, to the rich at the fastest pace in 50 years. In fact, last year, 1 in 4 pounds in existence and almost 1 in 3 dollars had been printed in just the previous 3 years. But you see, that was all a sheer coincidence. What's really happening here is that, for some bizarre reason, everybody got really greedy. We weren't greedy before, mind you, but now we are, and it's got to stop. The beauty of the greedflation excuse is not only does it dodge blame for central bankers' institutionalized pillaging, it sets the masses against one another, whilst the elite use their central banks to thieve away. And they're quite open about this. A couple weeks ago, the European Central Bank put out a tweet asking, quote, what really drives inflation, profits or wages? So, get it, voter? Is it the greedy right-wing capitalist, or is it the greedy left-wing unions? Now, they do this because if they can get half the country to blame the other half, the bankers and the bureaucrats who actually cause the problems are off the hook. They can get back to siphoning away all of our life savings and future prospects whilst we fight. It's almost enough to make you wonder if maybe Americans or Britons or Europeans don't actually hate each other, that perhaps we actually agree the system is broken, but our elite does everything they can to set us against one another. This divide the masses campaign has been going on for a long time, certainly since the founding of the Federal Reserve. Indeed, ever since Western governments took on an activist role that converted them from responsible custodians of the common good, fixing potholes, dredging ports, the sort of night watchman state, and turned them into existential political footballs in service to the elite and to be weaponized against the masses. They ran this playbook perfectly last financial crisis, setting the right populist Tea Party and the left populist Occupy movement, turning them away from bankers who had just pillaged the country and turning them against each other. They will, no doubt, try again. And your part in all this? Make do with less, take one for the team, fight against your neighbor so the elite can go on robbing all of us and all of our children blind. All right, we'll be watching. See you next time.